There is nothing wrong with your screen. Do not attempt to adjust the picture. We are controlling transmission. If we wish to make it louder, we will bring up the volume. If we wish to make it softer, we will tune it to a whisper. We will control the horizontal. We will control the vertical. We can roll the image, make it flutter. We can change the focus to a soft blur or sharpen it to crystal clarity. For the remainder of this video, sit quietly and we will control all that you see and hear. We repeat, there is nothing wrong with your screen. You are about to participate in a great adventure. You are about to experience the breakdown and review of The Outer Limits. Please subscribe. So what's up, everyone? Vito here from the Geeking Poetic Podcast. I'm going to start discussing the Outer Limits series, first starting off from the classic 60s version, and then slowly be making my way up to the 90s, so I'm sure this will take quite a while to get through. So, we're going to start from the beginning, so that's Season 1, Episode 1, called The Galaxy Bean, from September 16th, 1963. Now this stars Cliff Robertson as Alan Maxwell, Jacqueline Scott as his wife Carol Maxwell, Lee Phillips as Gene Buddy Maxwell, his brother, and Burt Metcalf as Eddie Phillips. The Galaxy Bean creature was played by William O. Douglas and Charles McQuarrie. Now the voice of the creature was done by Leslie Stevens, who's actually the creator of The Outer Limits. Now, as most episodes in this series, we actually open with the reveal of what the monster of the week is, or what the situation is going to be. Now, this was something that the studio wanted, and the producers were actually highly against, because obviously they didn't want to give away the story in the first, 10-12 seconds of the show. Now, after the intro, we come back, we find out who this Alan Maxwell character is. He works at this radio station. He's kind of got this weird mad scientist thing going on, where he's actually has this 3D television that reads radio waves and projects a 3D image of them. Now, it's fun watching these old science fiction shows because a lot of the technology is based on like radio waves, microwaves, atomic energy, that kind of stuff. So that is actually a theme that will carry on throughout this entire series. And we start piecing together that Alan is actually obsessed with his work, which is destroying his personal relationships, especially with his wife, Carol. As we see, he starts fiddling with some knobs, throws some switches, and magically, this creature materializes into our dimension or reality. Anyway, he gets to planet Earth somehow. And of course, Alan is shocked and surprised that some alien just materialized in this 3D television he has somehow. And he actually decides, well, I'm going to communicate with the alien, but I'm going to talk to him in English because every alien must know English, right? Now, this is, we're going to find this in tons of sci-fi from this era, but how is this alien going to know how to speak English? Now, I understand that there's no other way for Alan to communicate with him, so he tries pointing to a star map to try to explain, like, this is where I am, where are you from? Now, this creature is giving off some kind of, like, these binary flashes that Alan calls it, so he tries to get the computer to, like, translate these flashes to see if the alien's trying to communicate with him. This doesn't make any sense to me. I know it's 60s technology, so they have what they have, and they have to work with what they've got, but this just, it's a horrible idea to me. So once they start decoding the language, they actually start having a communication with each other. Alan asks him, like, does your race have death? What do you believe in a god? What about an afterlife? All these kind of things. And the alien kind of says, well, God is infinity. Infinity is God. They're like one and the same. He's trying to explain that like all brain waves are connected. That's how he's able to like transfer here, and they're, I don't know, it's convoluted. Another bone I have to pick with this show, or with this episode, is the alien voice that they used. I don't know what kind of effect or distortion they put on it, but it's extremely hard and annoying to sit there and try to understand what the alien's actually saying. Now, after a couple minutes, Alan's wife Carol comes in and says, hey, listen, they're throwing this party award ceremony for you. You've been neglecting me this whole time. You need to come with me. If you don't come with me, I'm going to bring all of these people to the radio station so they can give you the award in person. So Alan's like, well, you can't do that because they're not going to understand that this alien just materialized from Andromeda. they're going to be scared. They're not going to know what to do. So, all right, just relax. I'm going to get some stuff settled, and I'll go meet you at this like award ceremony party thing like that. So before Alan can leave, he wants to make sure that he can lock all these settings in so that something doesn't disrupt the power source, so the alien doesn't evaporate or go back to Andromeda or whatever. So he's got to go back to the radio station. There's this fill-in dude, Eddie Phillips, who's there to play some jazz to cover for them while Gene and Alan go to this party, right? So Eddie's there. You can tell that like he thinks it sucks that the power is so low because Alan's doing this experiment, so he like turned the power low, and obviously the station can't broadcast to its full limit. And Eddie's like, well, this is kind of a waste. I came here to DJ or whatever, which dude's not doing anything. It's kind of a worthless character. But he's like, all right, well, if they can hear me in Canada, I'm going to blast this motherfucker to full power and we'll see what happens. I want to get my voice heard as a DJ playing jazz hits in this small town in Canada. Like, doesn't make any sense. Anyway, he throws the voltage all the way up, max power, right? This causes like the alien to like fully materialize so he can actually walk and interact with our environment. So he breaks out of the radio station. You see him like walking down the street. There's like leaves rustling, there's wind, there's like lightning flashes, all of this is going on. He finds a car that's running after him, so he like uses this radiation attack thing that destroys the car and flips it over. Now after this truck scene, not sure where they did that, but guys, the aliens all fascinated by these little trinkets and shit, so I guess they don't have pawn stores, in Andromeda. It was kind of dumb. Now, he's got the radio on. He notices that the radio just gets louder by itself because Eddie flipped that switch. Then all of a sudden there's a bunch of static, so he knows something's wrong at the station. So he goes back to try to get Alan to figure out what's going on. He tells Alan something's Gene, his brother, tries to stop the alien, but obviously the radiation gives him all these burns on his hands, which he shows the cops later on. So Alan and his wife, Carol, and the alien are back at the radio station. The alien tells Alan, listen, my homeworld knows I'm here. They know I used, our equipment for exploration, which is a big no-no. They're probably going to try and come and kill me. So, I've got to get out of here or whatever. You guys, my species thinks that humans are a threat to us. I think to try to keep the aliens from coming here. And as this happens, the army shows up with the cops. And Alan goes, no, you can't use radiation. You're going to kill her. And the alien's like, oh, no, don't worry. I'm going to dematerialize myself. And Alan's like, if you haven't been able to tell, this episode is actually not a favorite of mine. I actually don't like it that much. Now, I thought rewatching it for this, I might find something of value in it, but nope. I just feel it's boring. Really, nothing happens. They could have spent more time with their conversation about philosophy and, what his Andromeda world is like, more about the death thing with the brainwaves connected. Just a lot of stuff they could have talked about that they just didn't. Alan just leaves the radio station to go to this party because his wife tells him to. I mean, you just made first contact with this Andromeda being, and your wife's gonna get pissed off because you didn't go to this party? Like, the fuck, dude? Stay at the station, talk to this alien. I mean, she's gonna be pissed off for a couple days, whatever. Even if she leaves you, you just contacted an alien. Like, that's worth it, dude. Stay at the radio station, find out as much as you can, interact with this thing, and learn. Even though I think this episode is pretty much a dud, there's many more episodes in this first season that outshine this episode by far. Now, I can't wait to get to those reviews to kind of make up for this one. I know this is the first review. It's always short. I wasn't too excited about this episode, so I'm sorry if I didn't give you enough information about things that you wanted to hear about. The one neat thing I did find out is Cliff Robertson, who stars as Alan Maxwell, he actually is Uncle Ben in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies from the early to mid-2000s, so that was kind of a shocker. So that's going to do it for this review. I know it's kind of short. It is the first episode, so I know it probably really sucks, but we've got a lot more episodes to cover, and I promise things will get better. So join me next time when I check out episode 2 of season 1 called The 100 Days of the Dragon. Now that episode is awesome. Thanks for watching and listening. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit that like button, leave us a comment, let me know what you guys thought about this first episode, what you think I should improve on, and what you'd like to see in the future. Thanks guys, see you later. We now return control of your screen to you until the next episode, when Geeking Poetic will bring you more of The Outer Limits. Please subscribe.